This is All Access MMA.
My next guest was one of the big winners this past weekend at UFC 265, getting that submission victory over Jamey Simons. It's Johnny Munoz Jr. back here on the program. Johnny, how's it going?
Doing good, man. Everything's good. Got the victory. You can never complain about that. Going in there, training hard, and getting the victory, getting the job done.
Yeah, how you feeling, man? A couple days removed, big card, first UFC victory. How you feeling?
I feel good, man. Body feels pretty good. Just letting it all sink in. It was a good weekend. I got to enjoy a fight week. The fight went through. There was something that I was like, in the back of my head, like, is something going to happen where this fight doesn't go through? Maybe a COVID test. Like, it was just always in the back of my head because I had a couple canceled fights. So, yeah, everything went according to plan. I couldn't ask for a better camp, better set of guys that were around me that week. And, everything just, it went smooth, man. I can't complain. UFC was great. They helped a lot with the weight cut. And, yeah, man, it was awesome.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how'd you feel in there? Bit of a layoff coming into this one, not on your end, obviously, but, there was a lot sort of going into this. You look pretty comfortable in there. How'd you feel?
Yeah, I felt comfortable. I think, like I said, just everything, preparation, like knowing that I was going to fight this day, had an opponent I was preparing for. Coming in on fight week, nothing felt rushed. We had the whole days of things we had to do, but it wasn't like, I had to jam it in there in one day like the last one. And, made weight fine. It was perfect. Weight cutting's never easy, but it was a good weight cut. And, the day of the fight, going there, they took us there in the back warming up. The warm-up was great. The walkout was great. I remember behind the curtain before I walked out, like as soon as I walked out, I was like, yeah, this is my day. This is where I belong. Like seeing a crowd, an arena, the music hit. I just knew, I'm comfortable. Like, everything's gonna feel natural, and it did. I felt very comfortable in the cage, and I was able to get the job done.
Was there anything that surprised you about him in the fight?
No, I expected everything kind of like that. I think maybe what surprised me, I timed the takedowns well, so you could credit that to the way I timed them. But it felt, I don't like to say easy. I know I said it in the post-fight. I never like to use the word easy in the sport. But I think because my timing was so well, I was able to get those takedowns. So I was like, oh, man, that was, it worked good. I was expecting more of a fight of him defending. It's why I was moving around, trying to set things up. Because I know they were probably expecting me just to go in there and take guys down. So, he was tough, though. I give credit to all these guys that you fight. You got to give credit to people that are willing to step in there, especially he made it to the UFC. Everyone's here for a reason. They're trying to stay in here. They're trying to fight to climb up. But, yeah, man, I expected everything similar that way. I was trying to land some strikes. I think what threw me off was he wasn't engaging too much. He was kind of going out a little bit. So it's hard. I didn't want to over chase because I knew he was trying to counter with an overhand, which you saw him throw a few times. So I was just trying to be patient, draw him into me. It's what my coaches were telling me. Just let him come to you. You don't have to chase him. He needs to come to you if he wants to make the fight happen.
Once you got his back, did you feel like it was only a matter of time?
Yeah. So when I took the back, I knew, like, okay, I got this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I practiced that position so much, and I always tell people, if I show them, like my students, or like I show the back, I'm like, hey, this is the best position you could have in jiu-jitsu fighting. You could hit somebody, they can't see you. When you can't see your opponent, it's not a very good thing. So I knew once I had the back, I worked that position. I was like, I'm not losing this position. So I was just being patient there. I threw in a couple of chokes, just to kind of get off his reaction, and I had to punch him up a little bit. Then I was able to lock in that rear naked choke and get the victory.
So what's going through your head when you get that first UFC win? Again, a lot of hard work put in, even just to get to this fight, like you mentioned.
Yeah, man. So like when I heard the ref stop, it just sunk in. I did it. I knew I was gonna pull it off. Everything just felt right to me. My mindset, everything. So I knew I was gonna do it, but actually doing it. From what I saw in my head, it was just man, I did. I feel a part of the UFC now. Because even though I made that debut in August, I was in the UFC, but inside of me, I didn't tell other people, but like inside of me, it just felt like I wasn't in the UFC, without getting that win.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm hard on myself. I don't know. But it didn't feel right to me. Like it was just always that thing. Like people, oh, where do you fight? Like if you didn't know me, like, oh, I fight at the UFC. It always felt weird to me. Like but now I feel better about it. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna get complacent. That's one thing I see a lot of these guys. They get complacent. You'll see them make UFC debuts, whatever, late notice or whatever. But they're like, oh, I'm here, and they're just kind of complacent about it. Like they don't really care. Like I've heard guys like say it before. Like they made their UFC debut. Like I don't care if I lose. I just want to fight and make money. But I'm like, if you lose, you're going to get cut. Like, you know what I mean? If you don't do your job correctly, like, you're going to get fired. Yeah. So it's just like, for me, I want to keep working hard. I felt like I showed the best, like a better version of me. What I showed my first UFC fight, I look like a different fighter. And I just want to keep showing that on my next fights and all the fights, getting better every time.
How did you celebrate after the win?
Well, I wanted to go back to the arena, but I guess they were saying like I couldn't go back, whatever, because like they didn't want the fans to get all crazy and stuff. In case like like they're fans of me, and like you never know. MMA fans are pretty wild and crazy.
They are. Yeah.
So after we just watched the fights, ate some food. That was what I was looking forward to do after fights. I always look forward to eat. I don't drink, I don't party, I don't do any of that stuff. So I really look forward to eat a lot of food and be with the people that are close to me.
Good stuff, man. And what's the feedback been like? Again, if you weren't on this card, if this was another card, you might have got a bonus out of it. It was a very good win. What was the, I'm sure a lot of people that were impressed with what you did out there.
Yeah, I got a lot of like feedback on, Twitter. I got so many messages still, like I haven't been able to get to. It's been crazy, man. But what stood out to me the most, I think I got a lot of comparison to, which I don't know. It's cool, but I like to like be myself. But maybe from training with the guy Brandon Moreno, some people were saying
right,
that.
Yeah.
I got some I think Cheeto Vera tweeted like Munoz with that Moreno style, and I've seen a couple like other people saying that. So it's always cool to get I guess compared to the champ. Brandon Moreno's a teammate, training partner of mine, so it was always cool. That's always cool. He was there with me fight day of the fight. Walked with me to the arena. Was in the warm up room. Was there for the first fight. You don't see champions there usually like for the first fights. So it's cool, man. I think that's probably what stood out to me the most. That Brandon Moreno comparison. I still got a long ways to go though.
Any idea when you want to get your next fight or have your next fight? I know you came out of this. Seemed like you came out relatively unscathed. When are you looking to get back in there?
Yeah, I want to get a fight in before the year ends for sure. Talk to my manager and coach to see what's best. I know there's a lot of fights booked, so I'm hoping November, December. December would be cool. I heard December, it might be in Vegas, so it'd be cool to fight in Vegas with a full crowd. If I fight in the Apex, so be it, but I'd rather fight in front of a crowd. I like it better. I feel I have more to fight for. It's just more pressure. I do well with the pressure on. So, yeah, so maybe around December would be pretty cool. Any
opponents in mind?
There's a lot of guys. It would be cool to run it with Mark Striegel. We were supposed to fight in April. I was preparing for him, so it'd be cool if he's good and healthy. It'd be cool to run it with him. Better than that, we'll see what happens. I don't like to make. I'm not one of those guys who like to make call-outs.
Yeah, you're not going on the mic and calling out. I was just curious, kind of who you're looking at in the division. And again, you're one of the nicest guys ever. So it's not like you're going on here and saying I want to fight this guy and he better take it. You're not that type, man. In a good way.
Should I turn heel though?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that's the next move. We'll see what happens. Okay, most important question in this interview. What did you eat after your fight? You mentioned you love eating food. What did you get to eat after the fight? What was the first thing you had?
What was it again? Okay, so the first thing I had after the fight, so since we went back to the hotel, we put the fights on. They had the fights at the hotel. So we watched the fights and we wanted to go I think there was a Benihana's and all that. But then we got drawn into the fights. So I was like, man, so I ate my leftover UFC PI pasta that they made me.
Okay.
Okay, that was the first thing I ate. And that isn't exactly what I had in mind.
Yeah.
But then, so we ended up watching the fights. It got late. We went to some Vietnamese food, which was pretty good. So I ate some pork fried rice. They were open till 3 a.m. So,
nice.
When we were there, it was 1 a.m. So I ate there, but when I got back home in California, I ate tacos. I ate 10 tacos, and I followed it up with some pizza. So yeah,
Good for you, man. Well, it's well deserved, Johnny. Again, congrats on the first UFC victory. Anyone you want to thank? Any sponsors? Any social media you want to plug? I'll give you the last word.
yeah. I just want to really thank the UFC and all their team. I feel like a lot of the staff there don't get enough credit. Just want to thank them for making the fight week and the fight week easy for the fighters. My management team, Iridium Sports, for supporting me. My coach, my dad, my mom, my sister, all my team at Sequence. Super Glue, Alan Martinez, and Jason Conan, they were in my corner. All the guys over at Entram Gym in Tijuana. Brandon Moreno for being a good support system during fight week. He didn't have to do that. That was awesome. And then sponsors, Rahaga Shooting Range and Mick Clothing for supporting me. Those guys always support me. And yeah, and also James Lynch, I want to thank you for always having me, man. I really appreciate it.